Any question in your mind who the best team in the Western Conference is?
I'm going to have to say OKC by far.
Did you see this coming? The Oklahoma City Thunder are rewriting history, and the NBA just can't keep up. 15 wins in a row, the best defense in the league, and here's the kicker, they're doing it without one of their best players. Let that sink in for a second. A team that was once considered a rebuilding project has become the team to beat in the NBA. But what's their secret? How did this young squad, dismissed by so many, turn into a juggernaut that even the reigning champions couldn't stop? And let's talk about that game against Boston. Down by 21 at halftime to the defending champs, it looked like the Thunder's streak was over. But what happened next wasn't just a comeback, it was a statement, a reminder to the entire league. Underestimate this team at your own risk. But is it all too good to be true? Sure, they're on fire now, but what happens when the stakes get even higher? Can this team, so young, so hungry, truly sustain this dominance? Or will their inexperience catch up to them when it matters most? This is the story of how the Oklahoma City Thunder went from promising to unstoppable. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around to see how this unfolds. Are you ready? Let's dive in. It wasn't long ago that the Oklahoma City Thunder were just another rebuilding team, waiting for their turn in the spotlight. Fans held on to hope, but let's be real, nobody expected this. Not this soon, not like this. Fast forward to today, and the Thunder aren't just in the conversation, they're leading it. A 32-6 record, the best defense in the NBA, the top seed in the Western Conference. It's not just about winning games, it's about how they're winning. This team has taken down some of the league's toughest opponents. The reigning champion Boston Celtics beat them after a 21-point deficit. Minnesota, New York, and a string of other contenders all fall into the Thunder's relentless style of play. But let's talk about their defense for a moment. The numbers are staggering. This is a team that doesn't just slow opponents down, they suffocate them. They're the only team in NBA history to force more steals than turnovers over a season. It's like they're rewriting the rule book for how defense is supposed to be played. And they're doing all this while missing one of their key players, Chet Holmgren. That's right, this dominant stretch is happening without their 7-foot phenom anchoring the paint. So how is a team this young pulling off something this extraordinary? It's not just talent, it's not just coaching, it's a culture, a mindset. But here's the question nobody's asking. Is this just a hot streak, or is this the start of something truly historic? Every great team has a leader, a player who doesn't just rise to the occasion, but defines it. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, that player is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai isn't just good, he's otherworldly. Night after night, he's putting up numbers that even the greats would envy. Over the last 20 games, he's been playing at an MVP level. 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and nearly 2.5 steals per game. He's doing all this with an unbelievable 66% true shooting percentage. Efficiency like that doesn't just happen. It's the mark of a player who's completely in control. Think about it. He's not just scoring, he's dominating. He's passed legends like Kobe Bryant in all-time games with 30-plus points, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Shai is rewriting records that seemed untouchable. And then there was that game against Boston. With the Thunder's streak on the line and against one of the league's best defenses, Shai delivered. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals or blocks. Oh, and don't forget the chase down block on Jason Tatum, a LeBron-esque moment that sent a message to the entire NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't back down. But here's the thing about Shai, it's not just about the numbers, it's the way he plays. Calm, collected, and unfazed by the moment. When asked about playing the defending champs, most players would downplay it. Not Shai. His response? Absolutely. They won, and we're trying to win. It's that killer instinct, that desire to face the best and prove he's better, that makes him one of the most exciting players in the league today. But here's the real question. Can Shai sustain this? Can he carry this team through the playoffs when the pressure is at its peak? Because if he can, the Thunder might just have what it takes to shock the world. And if you think this is the peak of his game, well, you might want to keep watching. If offense wins games, then defense wins championships. And nowhere was this dominance more evident than in their win against Boston. In the first half, the Celtics looked unstoppable, scoring 65 points and building a 21-point lead. But then the Thunder flipped a switch. In the second half, Boston, a team with the league's third best offense, was held to just 27 points. That's unheard of in today's NBA. This isn't a team with just 1 or 2 good defenders. They've got 5. Every single player in their starting lineup can guard at a high level, and that's a nightmare for any opponent. Isaiah Hartenstein has been the rock in the middle, anchoring the defense with his rim protection and rebounding. Since joining the lineup, the Thunder are 19-1, a testament to his impact. He's everywhere on the court, contesting shots, grabbing boards, and even even picking up steals. Then there's Lou Dort. The guy is a human highlight reel of defensive plays. Against Boston, he wasn't just guarding, he was suffocating. This team forces turnovers like no one else. They're constantly in passing lanes, contesting every shot and applying pressure that leaves opponents scrambling. And when the Thunder get a steal, you'd better believe they're turning it into points on the other end. But with dominance like this comes questions. Can they keep this up in the playoffs when the pressure is at its peak? Will this young core hold steady when the stakes are higher than ever? If you think you've seen everything the Thunder's defense can do, you haven't seen anything yet. Every great team has a moment that defines them. A moment when they stare down adversity and say, not today. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, those moments are piling up. Comebacks are becoming their trademark. It's not just that they win games, it's how they win them. Take their showdown with the Boston Celtics, for example. At halftime, the defending champs had a commanding 21-point lead. Most teams would have folded. Most players would have looked up at the scoreboard and thought, there's no way. But the Thunder, they didn't flinch. The second half wasn't just basketball, it was a masterpiece. The Thunder defense turned into a fortress, holding one of the NBA's most potent offenses to just 27 points. Meanwhile, their offense came alive, piece by piece, with every bucket, steal, and block chipping away at Boston's lead until there was nothing left. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a fluke. It was sheer will. Plays like Kenrich Williams clamping Jalen Brown and forcing a turnover, or Lou Dort's relentless energy, turning defensive stops into fast break buckets. And who could forget the moment Shai Gilgeous-Alexander chased down Jason Tatum for a block that sent the crowd and the Celtics into stunned silence? These moments aren't isolated. They're becoming the norm. Against Minnesota, New York, and other top teams, the Thunder have found themselves in tough spots, and every time they've clawed their way back. What makes these comebacks so thrilling isn't just the results, it's the mindset behind them. This team doesn't just play the game, they attack it. Down by 10, down by 20, it doesn't matter. They're relentless. And with every comeback, they're sending a message. No lead is safe when you're playing against OKC. But comebacks aren't just about skill, they're about heart. They're about believing you can win even when the odds are stacked against you. And that belief, it's contagious. You can see it in the way they play for each other, the way they celebrate every steal, every block, every bucket. The question now isn't whether the Thunder can come back from a deficit, it's whether anyone in the league can stop them from doing it. And as we watch this team rise, you have to wonder, could this relentless willpower be the key to something even greater? Or will the pressure of the playoffs be the one thing they can't come back from? For now, one thing is certain. When the Thunder take the court, you better be ready for anything. Because this team, they never quit. What makes the Thunder so dangerous isn't just their star power, it's their depth. This young core isn't just playing well, they're breaking out in ways no one saw coming. Take Jalen Williams, for example. Last season, he showed flashes of potential. This season, he's a full-blown difference maker. Game-winning shots, clutch scoring, and a fearless drive to compete. He's proving he belongs in the spotlight. And here's the scary part, he's still just scratching the surface of what he can do. Then there's Chet Holmgren. Even sidelined by injury, his presence looms large over this team's potential. Imagine a 7-footer with shot-blocking instincts and three-point range. When he's back, will the Thunder's defense go from elite to downright unstoppable? And we can't forget Lou Dort. Known for his defense, he's showing he's more than a one-trick pony. Hitting clutch threes and making plays when it matters most, he's becoming the ultimate two-way weapon. But what sets this core apart isn't just their talent, it's their fearlessness. They don't care who they're up against. They play with the confidence of veterans, the hunger of underdogs, and the belief that they can beat anyone, anywhere. The league expected them to improve. What nobody expected was for them to arrive this fast. The question now, how high is their ceiling? Because if this is just the beginning, the rest of the NBA better watch out. For all their talent, dominance, and jaw-dropping performances, one question lingers over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Are they ready? Yes, they're the top seed. Yes, they've beaten the best teams in the league. But history isn't kind to young teams chasing championships. Playoff basketball is a different beast. Grittier, more physical, and unforgiving to inexperience. We've seen flashes of it before. Last season, they made an incredible run but fell short against a more seasoned Dallas squad. It wasn't a lack of skill, it was experience. And that's the question now. Has this young core learned enough to handle the pressure when everything is on the line? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? He's proven he's built for the big stage. But what about Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren? Can they elevate their games when the stakes are at their highest? Can Lou Dort's defensive brilliance hold up against the NBA's best offenses over a grueling 7 7-game series. It's easy to get swept up in the hype. They've earned it. But every championship journey has its bumps. And for a team this young, the playoffs are where the real tests begin. The potential is undeniable. The talent is there. The only thing left is to answer the biggest question of all. Can they turn potential into history? So, what do you think? Is this the year the Oklahoma City Thunder prove everyone wrong and bring a championship back to OKC? Or will their youth and inexperience hold them back when the stakes are highest? One thing's for sure, this team isn't just playing for wins. They're playing to make history. And whether they succeed or stumble, they're rewriting the script for what a young, fearless team can accomplish. But now, it's your turn. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Do they have what it takes to win it all? And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Because if the Thunder are taking the league by storm, you won't want to miss a single moment of the ride. The Thunder's journey is just getting started.